Hello, everybody. It is Professor Rocco, your boy here, coming at you again with another Age of Sigmar general video. This time, episode 3 in this playlist. And we're going to talk about what to include in your pre-game discussions before you start playing to avoid gotcha moments. Yep. We're covering gotchas because they just get you every time, and no one likes playing around them. So, what do? So when I go and play someone for the first time, or even if I played them before, I'll go shake their hand, say hello in non-COVID times, shaking hands. If not, I think we're doing air fist bumps or whatever you do. Uh, I hand them a copy of my list because again, we're about open communication here, and I'm not trying to game anybody by hiding anything. That's actually against the rules of this game. Uh, and I asked them, "Hey, have you ever played against this faction in this particular army before?" If they say yes, I'm like, "Great, tell me what you know. I'll fill in any gaps, and then we'll go from there." And if they say no, I'm like, "All right, here we go. Starting from the top. This is my faction. I have these allegiance abilities from having an army from this faction. Next, this is my sub faction. Whether I made one up myself or used one of the pre-made ones from the book. And these are all the allegiance abilities, their command abilities I get, all my heroes can use, so on and so forth. Next, I state, okay, this model is my, I'll even hold up my model, be all happy. Hey, this is my general. They have this command trait from that sub-faction. And if they have an artifact, I'll say now what it is and what it does, and I'll say any command abilities or anything they have that are pertinent to my army or any synergies they have, right? Then we go for here are my other heroes. I'll do them of importance to me because that's also how I layer them onto my printed out. Here's my army list. Like, okay, here's this hero. It's got this ability. It's got this once per game item, and these spells or prayers. I go through the whole thing. Again, total honesty. These are the things on the war scroll. This is what you got to look out for. And this model synergizes with these units. And then again, any extra artifacts, we go through it all. Now, I go like, okay, heroes are done. Here's my battle line. Here's what they do. Here's what I'm using them for. They have this ability and this synergy with this hero. And I'll pop the hero model over next to the unit and be like, hey, this is what this does. I'm reinforcing it because if you're going through this too quick and you're just going so fast, no one's going to remember what the heck you said. So I'm building in layers of reinforcing this for my opponent so they're not like, hey man, I'm gonna blow my model up and do all these mortal wounds. They're like, what? You never said that. It could do that. And I'm like, yeah, remember this is the whole spiel, beginning of the game. Next, I'll go over any of the units I got because not everything's battle line. It's actually listed as other units. And again, same thing. Any abilities, any synergies, what I'm using them for is like these are my damage dudes. They're gonna do damage. They have this ability that when they charge, they do extra damage. Guess what? They shoot too. They're mortal wounds. That means more damage. This synergizes with this hero. Plop that down. More damage. And then I'll say, hey, all these units are wrapped up in a battalion. It's going to lower my drops to be this, and I'll say my drops because hiding your drops is weird. Again, it's in the rules to say, hey, this is all my stuff. These are the rules I'm using today. Because this game got too many rules to start with. I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to beat you straight up. I'm going to tell you everything that's in my list, what it does, how I'm using it. I'm still going to beat you. That's the power move. Not, oh yeah, this is it. Oh, you didn't ask me how many drops my list was, so you didn't know, so I outdropped you, so you deployed badly. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. That's part of being that guy. And to go out and because me talking about this is whatever, I'm gonna go and show you an example. Welcome back, everybody. Rocco, your boy here. As your boy, I'm gonna go out and give you an example with my Mega Gargan army. So, starting off, we are the Gargants. We got these big feet for smashing and kicking, and that's just what we'll do. We're even better at claiming objectives than you because we have the mightier makes rightier rule for being a Mega Gargant army. My Mega Gargants up here count as being 20 models for the whole idea of actually capturing objectives, and my minis count as 10. Also, with this mightier makes a mightier rule, I can choose to not use any special you have to capture the objective this way rules for a battle plan. And instead, I choose at the beginning of the game if I'm going to use them or not. If I decide not to, once I claim an objective, I use my normal, hey, I count as 20 or 10 instead of like say only battle line can capture this. And then you got to actually nick it off me in order for you to come in and take it back. Now, there's some contention to that. There's FAQs a bajillion, but that's how I play it because I like playing rules that are a little bit hot button issues conservatively. And we're gonna go on to my general here and my tribe. I'm the Stompa tribe. Why is that important? My general has to be a War Stomper Mega Gargant. And instead of the normal, like chuck a rock and all the normal command abilities you get that are generic, I get special ones. So normally it's like, hey, uh, man crushers that are close to your Mega Gargants. You spend a command point, that one unit gets to throw D3 rocks per Gargant, right? Well, we're War Stompers, so you know what? I'm going to shout out the 18-inch aura, and every mini here in range is going to get to throw D3 rocks. We are just very, very loud and shouty. Like my YouTube personality. Next, my general actually has the command trait very shouty. There's a theme here. So he starts the game off with D3 command points before the first battle round goes. Why is this important? It could be I spend one, say, hey, everyone's throwing rocks. Now I got some extra to be like, hey, you're all passing battle shock and this larger aura. Now he can't use the generic command abilities on himself to buff himself, so that's what we got this Kraken Eater here to go hang out with him and to help him out there. Now, my general also has an artifact because I have no battalions. It's Mega Gargants. There are no battalions. That's one of our allegiance abilities, I guess. Not really. It's a joke. So we end up having the Mantle of the Destroyer, which gives me an aura of rerolling charges for all Gargants, and they all are Bravery 10 in this aura. So again, why is that important? I can't spend normal command abilities to reroll charges. And my other stuff only benefits the mini Gargants here, these man crushers. So it's a way for me to get around that and squeeze in just a little bit more utility. All right, and then my War Stomper here. We've got some things to go on this profile. Now, all my attacks are 3-inch range, huge. What brackets is the attacks of my Titanic Boulder Club. They start off at having +4 attacks because this dude, he gets attacks based on how many models are around him, but he also starts off with a few too, just in case things are a little bit iffy. And he also gets bonus attacks versus monsters, which are nice to go to represent how big they are, so he doesn't get totally screwed. And we bracket at like about every 12 wounds or so here. Start off with move 10, big dude, 4 up armor save, 35 wounds. Huge. Huge. Also, all my stuff has at least Ren 2, some of it's Ren 3. And I get to reroll ones whether I'm attacking, let's say, like small units that aren't monsters. Actually, anything that isn't a monster, I reroll ones for my jump up and down attack because he's just stomping on you. And if you're a big monster, I get to reroll my crushing grip attack. The reroll 1 there to hit, which is really nice. And also, he's got a weird shooting attack that at the start of the combat phase, it's after I pile in and elect him to attack. What he can do, and I'm going to read this right now. It's hurled body. Once per combat phase, you can pick one enemy model within 3 inches of this model and roll a dice. Add the hurled body modifier, that bracket, as shown on the model's damage table to the roll. If the roll is at least double that enemy model's wound characteristic, it is slain, and you roll another dice, alright? So let's say you have a Demigryph Knight. It's a 4 wound thing. I roll a 6, I get +2 in my chart. Kill him, right? So now I'm going to roll a 4 up to see if I throw him. And I can throw him out of the combat that I'm in too, as far as this thing is said. Because I can pick an enemy unit within 12 inches of this model invisible to it. Because, again, if it said I couldn't throw out of combat, because it's not actually a shooting attack, it's an ability, it's awesome. Again, this is where we explain stuff so gotcha moments don't happen. Anyway, I throw the Demigryph, right? Big hunkin' metal thing of bird metal flies at you. You take as many mortal wounds as that thing had wounds to start with. That is a 4 wound model. I just threw that demigriff at you for 4 mortal wounds on somebody as he smushes you as we go on. Next, my hero here is the my other leader, the Kraken Eater. His name is Tony. He's a very good guy. He's gonna give you an offer you can't refuse, huh? So Tony's a Kraken Eater. His cool thing that he does is the get off me land. So this is a hero phase ability where if I already control an objective, I roll 2 dice. He's within range of it. It's jeez, what is it? It is 1 inch of the objective. Rolls 2 dice. He kicks it that many inches farther, forward, backward, wherever, as long as the objective itself doesn't land within an inch of other models. And this could be used like if we're playing Battle for the Pass. I kick it up into other scoring zones, so it's not in my home territory. So it's not worth 4 to you. I kicked it into the middle, and now it's worth 2 to both of us. I kicked up one in the middle into your territory. All of a sudden, you have 2 home objectives in your territory, and they're both worth 4 points to me. So again, another way to get around the gotcha moment. And also himself and the mini Gargants here all have abilities to cause mortal wounds when they pile in by picking up models and again trying to slay them outright, but they don't throw them, which is nice. And now we're gonna go on to my battle line, which is literally everybody else. I've got a unit of 3 man crushers. They are Jack, Shu, and Brent here because I love rerolling ones, and I'm gonna get people like who's rerolling ones. I'm gonna call them crazy, but yeah, I'm a fan. And then I've got 3 separate ones here that act as screens for my army. They're all my battle line. This whole army comes in at 1990 points, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops. I'm gonna say that again a little bit, but so I'm not the most drop heavy, but I'm not drop light. And the man crushers, what they do is like all my Gargants. I'm gonna say this now. All my Gargants have impact hits. They do different things if they're going into normal foot troops or if they're going into monsters, but they all have impact hits, generally on a 2 up. That actually brackets on the man crushers. And they all have ed butts that can start off at 4 damage. Again, it goes down as they bracket. Each Gargant brackets individually, which is really nice. They're all base movement 8 though. They all can run and charge if they end their movement near a Mega Gargant. It's actually called Keep Up. Is to try to impress the Megas. If they end within 12 inches, just within, not wholly within, of a Mega Gargant, try to impress them. Now they cannot run and shoot, even though the shooting comes from a weird ability thing. It counts as a shooting attack, so can't run and shoot in this army. Um, and they each have like 10 club attacks. And because I'm Stomper, now I know normally I said, hey, it's my sub faction, here's what we do, but I wanted to save this for when I got to the Man Crushers. Because I'm Stomper Tribe, my Man Crushers get damage bonuses when attacking hordes. If you have 10 or more models in your unit that I'm fighting, I get +1 to my damage. If it's 20 or more models, I get +2. What does that mean? I throw a rock at you, right? I got 5 rocks through. They're normally D3 damage. Now it's D3 damage +2 because you're a horde. My club, normally a 1 damage club, I get 10 attacks. Now they're 3 damage a pop. So each one of these guys with their clubs, if everything goes through, can do 30 damage with just the club, let alone the kick that starts off at D3 damage or the headbutt that's normally 4 damage. I can make that son of a gun 6 damage into the right target. Because we just hate hordes. We're like jumping up and down on them. And I did not buy any command points or anything. I have no battalions. Again, we're just the straight 6 drops here. I don't even have a hero face. Here's what my hero face looks like. I got a command point. All right, on to movement. Don't got to worry about no spells. I got no unbinds. I got nothing. We're just wounds, baby. And all these minis here, 5 up armor save. They are just, sheesh, they are 12 wounds at a 5 up save. Thankfully, there'll be 10 bravery because of my artifact here, because that's the synergy. And really, it's just everything synergizes with this War Stomper. Excuse me. Everything synergizes with the War Stomper. So, as long as he's alive, the artifact's good, the Huge range of the command abilities are good. These little singles can screen or hold objectives for me. And run and charge, it's a great time. And that is my army. And that, everybody, is how you try to minimize gotcha moments. We went over the how you do it. I gave you an example and showed you how to do it. Now go out there and do it yourself. And thank you for coming to class, everybody. And like I always love to say when you come to my videos, well, first I'm going to add like the video, share the video, get this out to your friends here. You're like, man, gotta stop with these gotcha moments. I got a guy. He'll get you in this moment. And then you also gotta like, you subscribe, you share it, and then I can say to even more people, class dismissed.